so I'll be talking a little bit about tool knowledge. You already heard Stacia talk about API, long lead tooling. So API stands for automated plastic injection, and the AM molds. So we have, as metal molds, we have automated plastic injection, AM and AB molds. ABs you guys are familiar with. The other ones are just done in Comfort 4. So then I'll show you how that mold is developed, and then how engineering and product launch run in partnership with manufacturing the product launch packages. So there's several stages of that: the handoff meeting, the initial validation, and then we do a larger validation run, and then what does a successful launch look like, and then when we encounter challenges during product launch, what avenues do we have to overcome those challenges, and then there's time left for any questions for Sarah or for Stacia. So the metal mold selection process. So we meet twice a year during Valentine's, Spring, and Mother's Day, and summer, fall, and Christmas in the round building over by Design. That's where they have the whole collection on the table, and that's where experts from Tool and Die meet with product development, and that's where we go item by item, and we decide if this is going to be a plastic, AM, or a wax manufacturing path. The main reason is usually if it's a higher volume item, then we definitely want to look at plastics or AM. AM is the most cost-efficient path, so that's our preferred path. But if you have some intricate details like think prongs, the system that this is injected on, after it's injected, drops on a conveyor, and so prongs, for instance, they would break off. So we can make prongs in plastic, but unfortunately not yet in AM. On the right-hand side, you see what a mold looks like. That's what we call a round-made mold. It has ejector pins on there, so with an AB mold, you just open the mold itself and you can take the part out. On the automated machine side, that part needs to be pushed out, so that's why we have the ejector pins in there. And so AM and plastic molds basically look the same, and most of you are familiar with AB molds. As you can see, the volume goes up year over year. In 2022, we are at 53 molds total, and last year we did 73 molds. Something that has drastically changed in 2023, we did 7 AM molds, and last year we did 31 AM molds. And the main reason for that is just because we did a cost analysis, and that's for us as a James Avery is the most cost-efficient way of producing parts. And so we're expecting that to only continue growing, and plastics will probably start decreasing with the efficiencies that are made with the Master X that you guys have seen. So how do we make a metal mold? We start with the CAD from Design that has already been reviewed by PD. So very early on, Tool and Die gets to review at that concept CAD to see what needs to be changed. And so that's a give and take. Stacia already talked about it as well. Where do we gate? Where do we put the ejector pins? Can we eject on the part? If it's an enamel part, we might be able to hide the ejector pins, usually a small indentation. If it's enameled, we can hide that in the enamel, and we wouldn't need ejector pads to put that on. So once that review is done, Tool and Die starts designing the CAD for it, and that means adding the drafts. So that's an angle, so the part easily ejects. Ejector pins, plastics, AM all needs to be scaled differently. From there on, we make what we call an electrode. So that's out of graphite material, and that is a very soft material and allows us to get in there with very, very small cutters. Then we need to do prep work on the molds. Those mold surfaces need to be perfectly smooth and perfectly flat so that we end up with minimal mold lines. From there, after that is done, that goes on what we call a sinker EDM. So there's electrodes that we programmed and made beforehand out of the graphite material. We make 3 or 4 of those to get a really, really nice design into the metal, so that that the graphite erodes away the metal. And basically what you end up with after you inject the plastic is what you see there in step 6 is very crisp and clear plastics with hopefully no defects. So from there on we take it to PD. They run their batch and they come up with the recipe for the mechanical finish and everything. And if all that is well, then it's ready for handoff to product launch. So once it hits in product launch, we have a handoff meeting. So it's every Wednesday, where we go over the work instructions, if there's any care abouts, and any challenges that came up during their validation run. Then we do a small batch validation, 20 to 40 items, just to make sure that we get the same results as product development did. What we want to try and avoid is train the associates on a process that we then have to go back and change. So that's where we start with a small batch. If that's approved, that goes to the approval meeting. If they say everything looks good, then we do a larger validation run of about 100 items per shift. And that's where we uncover other nuances that you can only discover when you scale it up. If that's if there's no problems with that, it goes to the approval meeting and it's approved. If not, if it's a big call out, we do another small initial validation run, or we can do the larger validation run after the initial validation has been approved. So what does a successful launch for us look like? Handoff to manufacturing before the due date. So like I started, there's 6 event due dates. We try and hand off before those event due dates. Of course, the items presented at the approval meeting, they need to match the sample. The goal of us is to have clear work instructions, routings and bombs, and a yield of a new item above 98%, and that's not just during product launch, that is to be able to sustain that in manufacturing, and that if all of those items are checked, then we have a successful product launch. That is not always the case, unfortunately. So we also have lots of support groups where we can rely on. So Texas training team is one of them. Sometimes we have to overcome challenges and then we reach out to him. They can help us with that. We have a Zoom channel with PD. So as soon as this fixture is missing or there's something not clear, all the engineers are in it, product development is in it, and that way we have a very fast response time. Concurrent engineering, if we find challenges or even after something is launched, right, we all just saw the Blue Bell. Right now we're working on a project there, cast in place to optimize that. After each event, we also provide feedback to product development on what went well, what can we improve upon. And then we also have a roundtable, a monthly roundtable with the various group where we discuss the ongoing challenges at a higher level. And last but not least is a risk meeting, so that's every 2 weeks. That's a pretty big meeting, so if we get stuck in product development or product launch with an item that we say we cannot make, that item will have to be moved to a different event, and that's where that is discussed. And make sure that all avenues have been exhausted. And so we all work together, and usually most of the product launches are successful. It takes all of us to accomplish so many things. Any questions for me, Sarah, or?
I'm coming back over.
What does your proposed design get rejected before making it to TV?